Greetings, fellow humans. Welcome to Sam and Max Hit the Books. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we're here to talk about the comics that came out on the 1st of May, 2019. A lot of comics came out. We got a few of them. The first one that we're going to talk about is the 7th issue of The Green Lantern by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp. And this one was real interesting. It was, we've seen Grant do this once before. During his Batman run, he had the one all-text issue where it was sort of a Joker story, and it was definitely part of the main plot, took place in the continuity, but it was even less sequential art than this. It was kind of like a full page of text with a little image in the corner type deal.
Huh.
This feels like the perfection of that style of story, because it was very much a picture book more than a comic book.
Yeah.
A lot of text on the page, even more than most Tom King comics. A lot of text, but it was interesting. I really am curious what you thought of this issue.
Oh, well, I enjoyed it well enough. At first, I was like, "Whoa, is this gonna all be text like this?" But then I thought, it's okay because the text is it's original. It has that mythical flavor,
right?
And I did not realize that what's her name, Mirwid.
Well, Mirwidden is the evil.
Right, her. The other one, her name is
Penguir.
Penguir, right?
Yeah.
Which is just mixed up letters for. It's got the same letters as something else important.
Oh, not Mirwidden.
Is it? Penguir.
Oh, I'll tell you what it is.
Green.
I'll tell you what it fucking is. It's Power Ring.
Power Ring. There it is. Yeah, no, which they explain in the issue, but I did not see that coming. Once it was once they revealed it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's
I like that.
That's that good Morrison there when you get that. It was there all
It's
along.
so obvious.
Liam Sharp is the star of this issue for sure, though, and man, he draws the hell out of it. And every page, the way he uses the various chunks of the Green Lantern logo to break up all the page and create all of his panel borders, and it's all just zoom-ins and different pieces of the iconography, the logo, which becomes important to the story because it's seeing that at the core of the ring. That reminds Hal Jordan of who he is.
Right.
It's so well done. It's just so wonderful.
Yeah.
And, he gets out, and it's another Morrison thing where they have to convince the enemy to work with them for everyone's mutual benefit. That's some good stuff. I love the sci-fi extraction of Hal from the ring at the end.
Yeah.
And just that those final two pages, seeing Penguir back in the fully charged ring, all is as it should be once again, and that last page of Hal kissing his ring.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. She got stuck in there and boom, he's out of there.
It's just spectacular. And as you said, it's original. Nothing else like this on the stands.
Right.
Beautifully drawn. Liam Sharp killed it on this issue.
Yeah.
This is a 9 for me. It's
9?
It's wonderful.
That's an 8 for me. I thought it was real good.
All right. Moving on.
We got issue 1 of Savage Avengers by Mike Duggan.
Jerry Duggan.
Jerry Duggan. Dang it.
Yeah. And it's Mike Deodato.
Mike Deodato.
Yeah.
Yes, Deodato. I was hoping I was pronouncing that right, but now I can't remember. So, this is the new historic coming together of Conan and Wolverine to begin with, but we'll get more later. Punisher, Venom, but Venom doesn't show up in this one. It's too bad.
Yeah, Elektra either. She's on the cover. And Brother Voodoo.
Brother Voodoo does make an appearance.
But he's, I'm wondering how he's going to still be in this book.
Right, because he is murdered. But I thought it was real cool, especially Logan and Conan going head to head, and Conan killing Logan, and then
many times.
Of course, Logan getting back up and whatnot, but still a great fight.
Right that page where revealing Logan, where he's just standing there with the sword, buried in his head, up to the adamantium skull. That's wonderful.
Yeah, no, real good.
Only Wolverine and his very specific version of invincibility can do that image. So I really appreciate that. I also like that Conan wields so many different kinds of swords in this issue. He's got a broadsword at the beginning, and then he's wielding katanas later.
Oh, I didn't even realize that, but you're right.
He's a damn sword magician.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's lots of fun, and both Conan and Wolverine are on their own missions, so they split ways, but we know they'll come back together.
I know I complain about people who reduce Wolverine's characteristics to he like beer, but I did like his line in this issue of, Popeye needed his spinach.
Right, because Conan goes over to a cask, and he opens it and takes a big drink for himself, and then pours the rest on Wolverine's mouth, lying on the floor.
I thought it was unclear why Conan suddenly decided not to keep fighting him. Because they were fighting until they both fell off. And then at the bottom, they both hit the ground.
And then they're not
Conan's
fighting no more.
We're not fighting anymore.
Right, well, I mean, I think he just realized that it was fruitless.
That Logan was unkillable?
Yeah, you can't take this guy down, so might as well give him some beer.
Right. A great warrior deserves beer.
Yeah. And this cult, they're alright.
They're making a big blood pool.
They're making a big blood pool to summon their god and then be part of their god.
It's like a very violent Watchmen plot where they're finding all the world's greatest artists and philosophers and magicians and warriors and the best of everything, and then sacrificing them and collecting all their blood in a big pool.
And being like, we love you, dead. And this depiction of their god looks a lot to me, a lot like the Batman Who Laughs, which is funny.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you're right. No eyes, funny Joker jaw,
grin, and like spikes coming out of going around where his eyes would be.
That's pretty funny. I did not notice that, but you're 100% right. He's like a hulked Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah, exactly. Which is hilarious. I give this a 7. I thought it was a great start. I just wish Venom were in it already.
I do wish Venom were in it, which is funny because that's the opposite problem I'm going to have with the next book, but we'll get to that.
I had that problem too.
I'm going to give this one a 6. I got to be honest. From that cover, I wanted to pick this book up and be like, bam, here's all these guys. So I have to dock it pretty heavily for featuring just over half of the characters on the cover in any fashion. I guess it's the Hand they're dealing with, maybe. Wolverine mentions the Hand, and I'm still unclear on whether this is actually the Hand. Right. Is the cult or not, but Elektra, that's obviously how she's going to get involved.
Yeah.
Punisher, they tease that he's one of the people they're trying to lure to the blood pool, so they did the old dig up his bodies and bring them. God, I feel like we were just reading some comic where somebody dug up some bodies to lead somebody somewhere. Maybe I'm making that up. But, I'm giving it a 6.
All right.
Speaking of Venom showing up, though, Jason Aaron and Russell Dahlman's War of the Realms 3 came out, and this is a big mess. The story moves real fast when you don't read any of the tie-ins. But apparently, if you read certain tie-ins, you will only be more confused.
Oh, really?
Because Venom shows up in this.
Oh, yes, exactly.
But he's just Venom-ass Venom.
Right, he's regular old Venom, even though, we saw Venom already during this happening.
Yeah, he ain't with the War Avengers. We're not reading the War Avengers tie-in, so maybe that explains exactly what's going on here. But first of all, like I said, he's Venom-ass Venom. This is regular Venom. This ain't Venom with the weapon. And I don't think it's even the artist making a mistake because he's using we pronouns.
Yeah.
And not only is he there, but he's apparently partially central to the plot now.
Yeah, it's interesting that he seems to be so important going head-to-head with Malekith right away.
And then Malekith is like, ooh, you're special. I can get the God Blade out of you. Come with me. And, we read the Venom tie-in, and I mentioned that the cover had Venom with the God Blade, but then the contents of the comic didn't indicate it anyway that was going to come up. So, this, man, I don't know what editorial's doing with this series and the tie-ins.
And covers hinting at the future is a big problem, because the cover of this issue in particular could be the next panel in the story if it just continued rather than going to a to be continued.
Right, exactly. And I do, the art is still extremely serviceable.
Yeah, it looks good. When they see Thor and he's got that arm chopped up and he's covered in blood, pretty cool. He's got a tiny little hammer now.
Yeah, that hammer's mostly broken.
Yeah.
But man, Spider-Man. Jason Aaron's Spider-Man is annoying.
Oh, God. He's an idiot.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, no, he's definitely an idiot.
So, I did like Daredevil as the God Without Fear as a concept. But I think this is the first time I haven't liked Russell Dodderman's version of a character, because Daredevil looks like real round.
He looks stupid.
Like, I don't love the way that his Daredevil is compared to... Like, he looks too doughy.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean...
It looks like Foggy is in the Daredevil suit.
Right, you can... Oh, man, you are so right. And, yeah, it's cool. You get Heimdall's powers. You can become the god. You see everything. You get the stars in the eyes. Cool. You can hear everything, which I thought was a cool take.
Right.
But... then there's this panel when he lunges with his sword.
Whee!
Yeah, it's just like...
That is a pirouette.
And, yeah, it is no good.
So, this issue really turned me against this series in a way that I wasn't expecting, even though I was pretty dubious from the beginning.
Yeah. This one wasn't too good, and another thing against it, it was too long. There's too much going on, and it was too long.
Yeah, it's not justifying its length. It's because all the things that happen are like, here's the quick plot point you need to know, read that tie-in.
Yeah.
Like, but don't be reading Venom, because that one just confuse you. Like, that one's for if you were only going to read that and not read the main event.
You gotta read Venom and War Avengers, maybe.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Venom itself was going to be the odd man out, and I bet that isn't going to end up making sense. We'll see. Maybe I'm being too critical.
There's two Venoms.
But that's what it seems like. That's 100% what it seems like.
Yeah, it does.
So I got to give this a 4. No, a 3. I got to give it a 3. Because it's very well drawn. But, man, like, the writing makes me mad.
Yeah.
It thinks it's so cool.
I'll give it a 3 too. Cause
a 3.2?
No, a 3 as well as your 3. Yeah, the whole Venom thing it's just so hard to overlook.
I know I'm not meant to be so hung up on that. I know I'm really supposed to be letting that slide, but
we're fans of Venom. Like, specifically, we have a Venom fandom.
Yeah. And Marvel knows it. Venom's huge right now. That's the reason Venom's in this book, I'm sure, is because Venom's hot.
And like, a lot of other things.
He's so hot right now.
He's so hot right now.
But
well, he deserves it. He's never had to get the limelight for long enough.
Yeah, no, I'm all for Venom getting exposure, but man, they shouldn't punish you for picking up all of his appearances.
Right, no, they should take the care to make it all work together.
Yeah, it can't be that hard. I mean, come on, editorial. Are you doing that much? Come on.
Yeah, but then again, it could be the tie-ins.
Could be the tie-ins.
So next up, we got King's Batman, Trapped in Madness. Art by
Mikkel Janin. I'm sure that I'm saying one of those two names incorrectly, but we'll see.
Yeah. So this one makes it seem like Batman's already he's already waken up. That's what they want you to think.
I also got a very strong feeling of he isn't actually out of the machine yet.
Right? Because it's like, it's the green water, not water, but it's the green tank again.
Right.
This is all just the green tank again.
Because everything is green and blue, like it's all monotone, but that might just be the art because they love the monotones.
Yeah, but then we find out quick enough that, yeah, of course he's in the dream still because he wakes up and he's in Arkham Asylum. And Batman's not real, and Alfred's there and trying to convince him of that.
So the one thing, though, that to me hints that this might not be a dream is the fact that we show... Is it Bane talking to him? We don't see who's talking to him, but we assume it's Bane, is instructing the ventriloquist about controlling a bunch of bodies around. The ventriloquist is actually describing like who Batman is attacking and who's like next to be attacked on the schedule.
Oh, yes,
so I wonder if... Batman is out of the machine, but he's still having a simulation, quote unquote, run against him, but it's just like living puppets. Like maybe these people Batman's punching as he runs through the villains in Arkham aren't actually them. They're all ventriloquist puppets.
The ventriloquist can do this?
I have no idea.
This is the ventriloquist?
That is who that is. He's usually the one who has Scarface, the little like gangster puppet.
Oh, of course.
And it seems like the gangster puppet is controlling him.
Oh, of course. He looks just like that guy.
Yeah, that's who that is.
Okay.
But usually his gig, I thought, was that, like, he's got this puppet and he's crazy, and it makes it seem like the puppet is controlling him.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe he's plugged into the machine and, running some other part of the simulation, but I don't know.
Right. Or maybe it's that Clayface mind control serum again.
Right. Well, that was in White Knight, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody brought that into main continuity.
Well, they mentioned the GCP. Oh, wait, that's just thought they're always called the GCPD.
They are always called.
When they call it the GCPT, I think of the one they made in White Knight.
Right, with all the actual, like, Batman mobile people.
Right.
Yeah,
but I forget that didn't happen.
No, it did not. But yeah. It was so rote, because either there's another twist, in which case, whatever, more nightmares, or that is Batman getting out of Arkham, and in which case that's kind of like a big ending of like you just went through all that, and then Batman got out and he punched a line of people and walked out the door, and he was like, I'm too tired to fight you now, but later.
Right, well, we know it can't be that. I mean, yeah, the line of people, that's the interesting part. That hints at some like greater plan that who knows if it's going to turn out or not. I don't know, but I'm hoping that there's a reason Batman has to go and punch villains in a certain order in order for a different villain, possibly Bane, to win.
I don't know if it's that entertaining also when Batman talks a lot of trash.
Oh, does he do that in this one?
Yeah, when he's like, Bane, like, do you want me to embarrass you again like I did the last time where I showed you I am the knight, I am the... Like, his little, like, rant he's on.
Yeah.
About how, like, Bane
true.
can never break him psychologically, and he's embarrassed Bane before, and he's gonna do it again. He's just too tired to do it right now.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a weird speech, I'll admit. But, yeah, so I give it a 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. Because I did like it more than that book I gave a 3 to. So, speaking of 3s, next up is Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel History, Issue 3 by Paul Scheer and Nick Giovannetti, drawn by Nathan Stockman. And it was alright. I did like that I recognized at least 2 of the eras he was jumping to. The first one's obvious, the Dark Phoenix Saga. Everyone knows the Dark Phoenix Saga.
Everyone knows, yeah.
Got to get some Dark Phoenix Saga. But I really appreciated that the next arc that he went into was the Murder at the Mansion sequence from Grant Morrison's New X-Men.
Oh.
Because that's some good shit. So it was fun to see several panels and lines of dialogue printed from a comic that I know intimately enough to recognize when dialogue is original and when it's being edited.
Nice.
But yeah, that's a weird-ass story to be featuring, though, when like some of the kids are having weird like bug children.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to follow that one.
Yeah, I can't imagine for somebody who hasn't read New X-Men, like reading that and being like, what the fuck is going on? Like, Professor X is like, I can walk right now because Zorn repaired my spine. And, I know to myself, like, well, Zorn is actually Magneto and he didn't actually repair your spine, you fool.
Yeah, that's funny.
But interestingly, I didn't recognize the third story, the Wolverine story, which is apparently related to some Punisher story, but man, that panel of him getting run over... Was that in like an earlier issue of this comic or another issue of Cosmic Ghost Rider that we read? Because I feel like we've seen this before very recently.
Man, I do not recognize Wolverine getting steamrollered.
Steamrolled like Christopher Lloyd in Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Right. But I did think it was very funny.
And then last they did Days of Future Past, which, fine, you gotta always throw in one of the time travel things. But the the twist of this issue is that turns out the Watcher isn't the threat that old Frank has to deal with. It's that now he has to deal with the threat of new Frank, who I think it's very unclear whether he's already struck him with the bat or not. we show on one page he's leaning down to grab some beers out of the fridge, and then it looks like he's on the ground.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still holding the beers. I did not get the impression that he had already struck Frank.
What's his uncle? Uncle what? Uncle Fredo. His Uncle Fredo, who he had forgot died. And so his cover was blown. But
well, he's lived a long time.
This was a pretty entertaining issue. I liked it well enough. I think it's a 6.
I'd give it a 6 as well. Because, it was entertaining, but a little bit of it I found confusing. And I felt like it was also a little long.
Yeah, going to 4 time periods and spending that much time on each of them kind of made the length feel a little extended.
Yeah, I like a good 3 stories.
Right. Rule of 3.
I felt like that was working.
I think they had 3 good ones, and then they were like, oh, we didn't do Days of Future Past.
Right.
Well, we're not going to take out one of these that we already did. But I do like that he looks like he has the null symbiote symbol instead of the phoenix on the cover because of the way the sides are.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty nice.
Now, this one I'm real excited to hear what you thought of because this thing, man, whoa.
DCeased, a new issue.
First issue.
First issue.
Out of continuity limited series.
Yep, by Tom Taylor and Trevor Hairsine. I think it's Hairsine.
Yeah.
And Stefano Guadino in the second half.
Right. Although the middle 7 pages, very interestingly, are drawn by James Herron, which I wasn't expecting when I picked up this. And let me tell you, my infinite sadness that James Herron isn't drawing every page of this comic, once I realized he was drawing some of it, really kind of affected me, my opinion of everything. Because, man, comparing, that line art to, the over-the-top craziness and size of, Darkseid. And, with how Cyborg...
I loved Cyborg in this. I thought Cyborg was great.
Were you surprised when it took the dark turn and Darkseid was rip out his tongue?
Oh, yeah.
Because that was the first moment where they're like, okay, this ain't a regular DC book. This is straight up DC Zombies, baby.
Yeah, no, pretty dark. Clearly something is coming, and Apocalypse blows up.
Yeah, right. Darkseid accidentally modifies the anti-life equation by adding death to it.
Right.
And turns it into a zombie rage virus.
Yeah, and then that zombie rage virus, where does it get? Oh, right into social media.
Right onto the internet, baby.
Oh, God. So it's going to spread fast. And it does spread fast. Superman's only within seconds able to save his family as they're about to turn on their phones and screens and stuff. Mm-hmm. And Batman has to go and lock himself away, closed circuit, local internet,
the Batcomputer can handle it.
Quarantining the virus in the computer everywhere he can, but he's probably the only one who is prepared for something like that to happen.
Oh yeah, the Batcomputer can handle it, but the phones and television devices of the Bat family up in the mansion, not so much.
Yeah, not so much. So he EMPs the whole mansion. It's pretty cool.
He EMPs it, but he is too slow.
Yeah, because it gets Nightwing, man. And Nightwing on the last page is biting him right in the neck.
Oh, God, yes. It's going to be one of these. It's going to be one of those, some of the heroes stay good and have to, kill their friends who are now rage zombies with no cure.
I'm way more interested in this one than I was in Drowned Earth.
That's funny. And, that's the thing, is Tom Taylor, who also wrote the comic book adaptation of the Injustice video game series, where he explained the whole plot of that game and made that comic, ridiculously good compared to, how it should be. Because, video game adaptation comics in the first place are usually bad. And also, stories where Superman turns evil are extremely tough to fucking pull off.
Right.
But he makes it so over the top and trashy that it ends up being a brilliant piece of garbage entertainment. It's wonderful. I will stand behind Injustice any day.
That's funny.
They were definitely wanted to mix that, his talent with that Marvel Zombies magic, because Marvel Zombies was such a big deal, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, or whenever.
Right.
And, so it's going to be a lot of shock value, a lot of gratuitous violence, a lot of getting to kill characters who don't normally die, and having characters who don't normally kill have to use lethal measures. It's rough stuff.
Yeah, but it's so far it's pretty fun.
What would you give it?
I'd give it a 7.
I also will give it a 7. It would be a 6, except for the James Herron pages. If James Herron was drawing it, this would be an 8, because he's perfect for this kind of story. Like, the weird, ugly realism, like, I don't mean that in an insulting way, but just like the way that the regular artist is doing it, Trevor Hairsine.
It's so smoothed out compared to the slightly twisted versions that we get in the center there.
Right. I mean, I guess if he was going to do any pages, I'm glad he got to do the Apocalypse, like the Kirby stuff pages, and Darkseid and all that, since Darkseid ain't going to be in it anymore anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do want to mention that this was one of the 2 books this week that used Darkseid is as a punchline.
Right. Yeah. Right. Darkseid did show up in another thing.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to talk about that.
But yes, DCeased. I guess we'll continue reading that.
I'm interested.
Good. All right. Good enough. We'll pick it up. All right. Take us home, bro.
This one's yours.
Oh, it is me. All right. Issue 23 of Justice League by Scott Snyder and Jorge Jimenez was pretty cool. It was fine. I liked the John Kent stuff at the beginning and Superman shattering the planet as he attempts his strongest jump.
Right.
That actually
he has
puts
to
him
punch
out.
the ground in order to give himself that extra lift.
And we get some dialogue from like evil old Lois, who's the prison warden on Apocalypse, along with like grizzled evil Jimmy. Best page in the book for sure is the full-page splash of Mixospletlick fighting Batmite in their like over-the-top giant kaiju-esque forms.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy.
I really like that. I really like how hulked out Batmite looks.
Yeah, and all the tongue stuff.
They make it seem like Batman is moving all the suns away from Superman as the final test, so that he can like prove his loyalty to the new planet and end up killing Superman. But
right.
There's no chance he isn't either going to zoom those suns back in real fast, or has like already set some sort of like spinning thing on the control, so that after they get out, they're going to start drifting back in, and he can set up a rescue while.
Right.
Yeah.
He's definitely he's playing 4D chess in this one. Like he realized right away and already started putting in a plan while everybody else was still catching up.
Right. And the Justice League gets saved by the Legion of Doom in this reality. On a ship being piloted by Darkseid, he's just having a ball piloting that ship. That face, man, like he's loving it.
I think he's loving the idea of the team up.
But like I said, it's also a punchline in this one because somebody asks, like, "Wait, I recognize that voice. Who's flying this thing?"
Yep.
It's simple. Darkseid is.
Darkseid is. Yes, he is.
I don't know if I love that or hate it. I really don't.
I love that smile.
I mean, the illustration of Darkseid looks. This is the first time that I've liked Darkseid in his new clothes.
Well, that makes sense.
Normally that costume looks like absolute garbage, but Jimenez draws the hell out of it, and it's all in the facial expression. You're right.
Yeah, no, it totally is. Well, and the touch of red from the control panels.
Oh yeah, no, everything is perfect about it. The coloring, the line art, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
But overall, this was kind of like, all right, the story it's not lighting a fire in me, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I give this a 6.
I'd also give it a 6. Batman. Who does he think he's fooling?
Yeah, not us. I guess maybe the World Forger.
Right, not us, but everybody in the comic.
Right, yeah. So, that's it for this week's books. Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and we will be back with more comic reviews in the very near future.
Yeah, keep hitting those books.